The launch party was buzzing, champagne flowing, everyone celebrating the product that was supposed to be my big break. I stood in the corner, clutching a glass of cheap sparkling juice, watching my colleague, Mark, soak up the spotlight. He was on stage, shaking hands with our CEO, a smug grin plastered on his face. They were announcing his promotion to senior product director, all thanks to the revolutionary new gadget he'd supposedly spearheaded. My revolutionary gadget. Just a year ago, I was the one burning the midnight oil, sketching designs on napkins, building prototype after prototype in my garage. This product was my baby. I'd poured my heart, my soul, and my savings into it. I even secured the patent under my own name before I brought the idea to the company. I was so excited, so naive. I thought this was how you made it. You have a great idea, you work hard, and you get rewarded. When I presented the concept, Mark was my project partner. He was enthusiastic, supportive, or so I thought. "This is brilliant, Alex," he'd said. "Let's make this happen together. We'll be a team." He offered to handle the boring stuff, the internal reports, the presentations to management, liaising with marketing. He said it would free me up to do what I do best, create. I trusted him. I was so focused on perfecting the design, on solving the technical challenges, that I didn't see what was happening right under my nose. He was slowly, methodically, cutting me out of the loop. My name started disappearing from meeting invites. My progress reports were streamlined into his presentations, with his name front and center. When I'd ask, he'd just smile and say, "Don't worry, Alex, I've got it covered. Everyone knows you're the genius behind it. I'm just handling the politics." And like a fool, I believed him. I wanted to believe him. It was easier than confronting the ugly truth. So there I was at the party, invisible. People I'd worked with for months walked past me without a second glance, rushing to congratulate Mark. I watched him clink glasses with the CEO, heard him talking about his vision, his late nights, his breakthrough. The rage was a hot coil in my stomach. I wanted to scream. I wanted to run up on that stage, grab the microphone and expose him for the fraud he was. But I didn't. Instead, I took a deep breath, walked out of that party without a word, and went home. Panic started to set in. Was it too late? Had he stolen my dream right out from under me? My hands were shaking as I pulled out the file from my desk drawer. Inside, pristine and official, was the patent certificate. My name, my design, my proof. It was all there in black and white. This wasn't just about a promotion or a stolen idea anymore. This was about my future. The next morning I didn't go to the office. I went to a lawyer. I laid everything out on the table. My initial sketches, my prototypes, my correspondence with Mark, and of course, the patent. The lawyer's eyes lit up. "He didn't just steal your credit, Alex," she said. "He and the company are infringing on your legally owned intellectual property. This is a very strong case." It was the first glimmer of hope I'd felt in months. We drafted a letter. Not a fiery, angry letter, but a calm, professional, and absolutely devastating one. It was a cease and desist, citing the patent number and demanding an immediate halt to the production and sale of the product. We also included a demand for all profits made from the infringement and, of course, a public correction. We sent it directly to the CEO and the company's board of directors. The silence that followed was deafening. For a week, I heard nothing. I started to doubt myself again. Maybe they'd just ignore it. Maybe they had a team of corporate lawyers who could crush me. I was just one person against a whole company. What was I thinking? Then the call came. It wasn't from a lawyer. It was from the CEO himself. His voice was no longer the booming, celebratory one from the party. It was tight, strained. He wanted a meeting, immediately. I walked into that boardroom, and the atmosphere was being cold. Mark was there, looking pale and small. The CEO and two other executives were across the table. They didn't offer me a seat. They didn't offer me a drink. The CEO slid my lawyer's letter across the polished table. "Is this some kind of joke?" he asked. I looked him straight in the eye. "Does it look like I'm joking?" I replied, my voice steadier than I felt. "That product, the one you launched last week, is legally mine, and Mark knows it." All eyes turned to Mark. He started to stammer, talking about teamwork and shared ideas, but the lie was falling apart. I presented my evidence piece by piece, the dated sketches, the patent filing date which predated my presentation to the company, the emails where he claimed he was just handling the politics. The executives' faces grew darker with every slide. The CEO finally cut Mark off. He turned to me, and for the first time, he looked at me not as some junior designer, but as the person who held the entire future of his flagship product in her hands. The negotiations were intense. They tried to lowball me, to intimidate me, to drown me in legal jargon, but I had the truth, and I had the patent. In the end, I didn't just get a public apology. I didn't just get Mark fired, though that was satisfying to watch. I negotiated a deal that was beyond my wildest dreams. I received a significant portion of the profits from the product, not just for past sales, but for all future sales. They had to license my technology from me, and I was given a new role, Director of Innovation, with my own team and my own budget, reporting directly to the CEO. The first product my new team launched was an upgrade to my original design, this time with my name proudly displayed as the lead inventor. At that launch party, it was me on the stage, shaking the CEO's hand. And let me tell you, the champagne tasted a whole lot better this time around. So if you're a creator, an inventor, an artist, listen to me. Protect your work, trust your gut, and never ever let anyone steal your spotlight. Your ideas have value. You have value. Don't be afraid to fight for what is rightfully yours. It might be the hardest thing you ever do, but the reward is worth it. Thanks for listening to my story. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more.